Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Oh, good morning. Good morning. It is August 26th. Only got a few days left in the month of August. September's right around the corner. We're quickly approaching our last trimester of the year. We got 4 months from now until the end of the year. We got Mr. Jeff Beggins with us as well.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are we doing today, sir?
I am coming to you today from beautiful Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas. What are we doing in Dallas today?
We are with Mr. Puma.
What's up?
And we are learning some more awesome and amazing things to make all of you have an easier, better life with a bigger ass smile. We're at the main backdrop is the Tom Ferry Summit, and we're meeting with Matthew and a couple of other bigger brokers on a lot of AI work. So we are doing a lot more AI tightening to see what other things we can keep adding to make things better for you guys. So that's what's happening here.
Cool. Awesome and amazing. Very cool. So let's just go ahead and jump into our agenda that we got. Why is this?
Hey, Chris, before you jump totally into the agenda, let me start with just a couple thoughts before you roll in there, because we're going to get going over here. Yesterday was awesome. You know, I spent all day, literally all day yesterday with the entire management team, your regional presidents, the managers in every office. And all we talked about was you guys, right? What can we do to make your life better, to put a big ass smile on your face, to make sure that we know clearly what your goals are, to make sure that you know exactly what the top income goal is between now and New Year's Eve, and the top 3 things you're going to be doing. So we do it ourselves, right? We always sit there and talk about what keeps us driven and how we're all committed to making sure you guys are driven. I know Chris will probably talk about that, but it is our major commitment right now to help you guys finish those forms that are coming around, so we know what success looks like, when you know that you're happy, when you hit your goals, and how everything's are going. So please take that seriously, what your managers are sending you right now, because we're going to make sure that you guys have one unbelievable end of the year as this boom comes. And I think Chris will show you some proof that what we've been talking about is happening already, and it's going to continue to happen to make things even better for you.
Yes, sir. That is right. Cool. So let's jump into our agenda that we have for today. We got to get a few things out of the way. Where are you? There you are. Today's Enlightened Perspective brought to you by Jimmy McNally. Your mindset determines your future. Prepare today for the opportunities tomorrow will demand. So one of the big things we keep thinking about our future. Our future is coming. Our future is pushed out. Our future isn't here yet. I want you to challenge yourself to start thinking that your future is today. Your future is right now. Every second that passes is another second of your future that you are missing. It's better to start working on your mindset, your attitude, your intentions today than it is to wait for another minute, another day, another month, another week, another year. Your mindset is now. Your future isn't something that's coming. Your future is something you create. And if you're not creating your future, then this is what we're talking about right now with our boom preparation. It's about creating a future that just lights you up, that just puts a huge, big-ass smile on your face. You have to realize that you create everything that you have in your life, whether it's through your action or your inaction. And it all starts with your attitude. It all starts with your mindset. How are you going to approach what is coming? How are you going to approach? Who are you going to bring to the table? And then we just sit down and really just figure out who we are in this moment, what mindset and attitude and intention got us here, and figure out what do I need to add, subtract, tune up, tone down to be able to get where I want to be in 3 or 4 months by the end of this year. And then what does it look like at the end of this year? Who is the person I'm creating? Because everybody always tells you, it's all the cliche stuff. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. It's who you become along the way, but it all starts with the attitude. It all starts with that mindset. So just realize your future is not something that's coming. Your future is already here, and your future is something that we create. And we create it through our mindset, our attitudes, and our intentions. So I'm just asking you to start looking at things a little bit different. Engage with us with this boom prep that we have going on. Like Jeff said, as a management team, we are getting together. We are looking at what it would look like for us to put a huge, big ass smile on our face at the end of this year. What does that look like? Because that only happens for us if we engage more with you, if we bring more opportunities into the company in the form of agents, which are going to bring more deals. So when we do that, we get ourselves made whole and we have greater and bigger opportunities. So we're setting greater, bigger opportunities and goals for us as an individual, but also as a company. And we're asking you to do the same thing. Every single one of you inside the company has received an email from your manager that is basically stating something to the effect of boom preparation, be on the lookout, be ready, click this link inside. The link inside is going to go to a Google form. That Google form is going to ask you a bunch of questions. If you have any issue with those questions, if you're not in the right mindset to address those questions, reach out to us. Let us help you through that form. Let us walk through. Let us see how we can help you get out of the position that you're in, because if we continue doing the same things we've always got, we'll end up where we've always been. So if we want something different, we got to do something different. If you want better, you have to be better and show up better. And that's where we come in. We want to help you get that little kick, that little push to be better. Again, it's all about your attitude, your intention, your mindset, and your motivation. That's where it starts. And then when we take that and we run with it into action, accountability, skills, and we start developing all of those things even more, you won't recognize the person that you run into at the end of this year. So I tried to grab somebody from Paramount Title. If you're ready to go and on, just go ahead and raise your hand and I'll pull you back up when we get to that point. So are you prepared? Are you prepared for what's coming? Because make no doubt about it, a market shift is coming. A market shift is coming. We're already seeing little tidbits, little dribbles of a market shift coming already. And where is it coming to us from? How are we seeing this? We're seeing it in mortgage rates. The Fed Chairman Powell he's all but said we are going to lower rates next month. That's the only thing he hasn't said. He said nearly everything else along those lines. He's all but saying rates are going to come down. And what does that mean on the other side about the narrative? That's all that people need to hear. What have they been hearing for the last 2 years? Affordability at all-time low. Buyers can't buy. Sellers locked in. What else are they saying? Market correction is imminent. The real estate market is going to crash. Rates at all-time highs. Mortgage payments exceed anything that they've ever been in the last 30 years. So we're seeing that mortgage rates are already trickling down. What have they done in the last 3 weeks? Slowly keep coming down. Last 30 days, slowly keep coming down. They're right about, there's a 6.55 to 6.65, whereas they were 7s. And for those of you who are already taking advantage of having more conversations and controlling the narrative, you're getting buyers that are trickling into you that are like, what is she talking about? What do you mean I can already get rates in the 5s right now? What do you mean? It's like, and we're already getting the benefit of having those buyers come to us, getting them in contact with our lenders and letting them see how with the right strategy, with the right purchase, with the right opportunity, we can already get you the rate that you actually want, that you've been thinking about, hoping for. It's already here. It's here now. It's nothing that you should be waiting for anymore. This is something that we need to be stepping up and stepping into right now. So those rates are already here. The 5.5s, the 6% rates, they're already here. What's the difference between a 6.5% and a 5.5% interest rate in terms of monthly payment? Just approximately. You're looking at a couple $100 for a 1% interest rate drop. When we looked at new construction, the difference between a 6.5 and a 4.99, it was a difference of almost $300 for new construction offering a 4.99% interest rate as opposed to what a buyer would pay at 6.5. It's about a $300 a month difference. So those rates are already here. Affordability is already here. So if we control this narrative a little bit more, we start getting more of these opportunities before everybody else hops on the train. When the media is telling everybody that, right over here, they're telling everybody Fed decides to drop rates finally. Fed finally decides to drop rates. That's what they're going to be saying. Fed has made a decision that rates need to come down, affordability on its way. They're going to be making comments like that. You'll be seeing that. And that's what controls the buyer's perspective. That's what controls the seller's perspective. Make no doubt about it, it controls sellers too. 50% of all sellers are buyers. So it's not just controlling the buyers coming back into the market, it's controlling the sellers. And what does that mean for us? It means the pent-up demand that we've been seeing, we've had 2 million fewer home sales each of the last 2 years compared to the years prior. Year prior, we had 6 million home sales. Year prior to that, it was over 5 million home sales. So when you see that we've had 2 million fewer home sales in 2025 and 2024 than we've had in years prior, that's 4 million people that decided not to move from their house to buy a house or to buy a house. 4 million. If you just add 4 million on top of the 4 million home sales we had, that's 8 million. That's not very realistic, but we're going to capture a large portion of those 4 million people that did not buy over the last 2 years, that held off. How many investors have slowed down and maybe didn't buy anything because they weren't going to leverage an investment purchase at 7.5% or 8%, but they will when their investment purchase rate drops down a little lower? So now we bring investors back into play. What about the foreign investors? When they see that all the headlines and everything about the real estate market in the US is about to crash, it's due for correction, prices are all-time highs. You bring other investors back into the market then. We have pent-up demand on the buyer side and on the seller side. On the seller side, they're just tired of waiting. Every single one of you knows at least one seller who really needs out of their house, but they feel they can't do it just yet because of the interest rate, or maybe they want a little bit of an unrealistic amount, and once we have this little correction, they're going to be seeing that they might be able to get closer to that, and then the affordability factor on the other side where they can buy a house at a lower rate makes them feel more comfortable. What about on the buy side? How many of your buyers still think rates are in the 7%? Every single one of you should raise your hand. How many of your people in your pipeline still think rates are at 7%? Most of them do. Most of them don't know that rates are closer to 6.5%, and if they were doing an FHA or VA loan, they'd be closer to 6%, maybe even in the high 5s. I mean, I purchased a house, and I bought a new house in, end of February, and I decided to get an FHA loan because I ended up with a 5.6% interest rate with an FHA loan rather than a conventional. I said, all right, I'm going to keep cash in my pocket. I'm going to leverage as much as I can, put less money down, get a lower interest rate. I have cash in my pocket now, and if I need money to make the payment, I kept the cash in my pocket instead of putting it down towards the payment. So we can make some differences in a lot of people's lives by having these conversations. Buyers are tired of waiting too. How many buyers do you know that you're working with right now? What's the number one reason they haven't bought something just yet? What is it? Number one reason for you is rate. What's another reason that the buyers have not bought just yet? Can't find the right house. Even with all this inventory, can't find the right house. Can't find the right house at the right payment. Can't find the right house at the right price. So a lot of buyers, they're tired of waiting. And when the rates come down, now it's one more objection off of their plate for them to go ahead and make that move. Okay, it may not be the exact home that I want, but they weren't going to buy the home that they really, I like it, I just don't love it. They weren't going to buy that house at a high price, at a high rate, at all of the other issues that pop into their head. They weren't going to do it then. But if rates come down, now it's an opportunity because now the price doesn't mean as much because the payment went down. But what they don't realize is that's already here right now. You can get them into a lower payment right now. We just need to look into other options and other possibilities for them. So when we start looking at, well, there she is. We'll pull India in here and get to her in just a second. She's at the top. Give me 1 second. They shouldn't, they keep reminding them, taxes and insurance costs. Taxes and insurance costs, buyers are telling you, taxes and insurance. So what automatically offsets taxes and insurance costs? Lower principal and interest payment because your interest is lower. All right, so when we can, it almost doesn't matter. They're not shopping for taxes and insurance and price of a house. They're shopping for payment. So how can we affect their payment the most? The way we affect their payment is the most, find them a newer home that find them a brand new home, you will have much lower insurance. Get them a lower rate. We have lots of opportunities, possibly new construction, buying rates down, getting the lower rates. We have lots of opportunities to get them those lower payments. So when we look at all of these reasons and all of these things, what is the most important thing for you to do? Number one, we got mindset, motivation, skills, action, and accountability. Which one do you need the most focus on? What do you need the most help with? That's what that boom prep list is meant for you guys to look at. It's meant for you to focus on, where do I think that I need the most help? Is it my mindset? Is it my motivation? Is it my skills? Is it the action I'm taking? Is it accountability? I just need somebody to kick me in the ass every now and then. Which one do you need the most help with? That's what this is meant to do. It's meant to get you motivated and get a different mindset about you, setting a goal for the end of this year, determine where your skill level is, focus on what you may want to take action towards, and how much do you need to be held accountable. And when we work together on that, all of a sudden we start making a lot more progress towards not only your goals, but our goals and our company goals. So are your manager's goals, your goals, company goals all together. So what's the number one thing for you? When do you create your connections? We can work on our mindset. We can work on our motivation. Very easy. Work on our skills. You have everything available to you. There's not a single thing that you guys should lack in the skills department, because we have so many amazing tools and people available to work on these skills. So we work on those. Your only job, once we get through that, is to determine what time of day and how many days do you make your connections. That's really your only job. Most of you say, hey, how often do you work in real estate? Oh, I've got all day long. So, okay, so when are you going to create connections? I could do it all day, 9 to 5. That's just not real. You're not going to do it. You're not going to make prospecting calls, door knocks, mailers. You're not going to do it from 9 to 5 every single day. The reality is most of you only need 1 to 2 hours a day of income generating opportunity time. Based on some of your goals, you might need a little bit more, but for the most part, none of you really need more than 2 hours every single day, 5 days a week of income generating opportunity time. That's it. So when do you do your income generating opportunity time? When do you make your connections? What days? What times? When do you start? When do you stop? How do you know when to start? How do you know when to stop? If I set it for 2 hours and I got to make 10 contacts, if I make 10 contacts in the first hour, I could quit if I wanted, because I knew when I started and when I stopped. So when do you make connections? Why? Because connections equal contracts. Contracts create closings. Closings create compensation. And compensation, in my mind, creates clarity. Because when you have the funds to pay your bills, to live a big-ass smile life, and you feel good, do you have more clarity or you have less clarity? You have more clarity. You're not worried about all of the problems and issues and ping pong draw balls that you dropped into your head that are just bouncing all around all day long, confusing you. We're able to create more clarity and see things with more clarity. That's what our goal is. That's what our focus is to create more compensation, because at the end of the day, the goal is to create a better life with more clarity, with more opportunities, to feel better, to give more, whatever it is for you, whatever those goals are for you. But we have to be willing to commit to some goals. We have to be willing to commit to some outcomes. And that's why you have a link in every single one of your emails. I'm asking you guys to please click on that link. Please fill it out. Let us hold you accountable. Let us help you. Let us help you connect and communicate what some of those goals are going to be if you're having an issue with it, and let us get you to that next step.
Hey, Chris, that was awesome. That was awesome. I got one thing to add to that. And here's what it is. Think about the sellers who are waiting to sell because they don't like the market right now. They don't want to trade in their mortgage. They want to buy a different house, but they don't want to wait. So the argument, I was talking with somebody yesterday, we're having a little debate, are if I'm a seller and I wait till rates to drop, is my house going to be worth more if I wait? And the question is, I don't know. There's an argument that your house is going to be worth less. Why? Because there might be 6 other people in your neighborhood thinking the exact same thing you're thinking. And there is no real estate market. There's a micro market, right? So we need to reach out and start talking to people saying, it might not be in your best interest to wait, right? It might not be for you to wait for rates to drop, because if I'm a seller and I'm thinking about moving, I should put my house on the market right now. Now, I might have to give some incentives or something away right now, but if I see another house that I like right now, I'm going to be able to go beat up that seller and get a better deal on that house. So you got to have to weigh the options, and it's micro market versus micro market. So what your role is, our role is kind of step into that advisory role and say, guys, if you're even considering a move in the next 12 months and you're capable of making it in the next 60 days, to not explore it is stupid. You might be leaving major money on the table. Let's set an appointment. Let's talk about your specific micro market. Let's talk about your house, who we're actually competing with, what you would get if you were to sell it right now. And then where do you want to move? What's that micro market like? If it's stagnant, you might be able to get a better deal. And let's talk to my mortgage lender and figure out different rate options. There might be bridge options. There are all kind of creative ways. But your job is to beat the herd and go grab people to get business right now. Like nobody wants to wait until Q2 when rates drop another round and then it gets busier. Now that's going to be great too. But I'm talking about how do you make money right now so you're getting checks in October, right? It's getting the message, be the media, control the narrative, get out there, talk to people now, and fill up your appointment. Look, we'd have 18 weeks left in this trimester. One solid appointment a week for the next 18 weeks puts $120,000 in your pocket, right? So I'm saying let's get to work right now. Those are the little things just to get out there, call the attention, get the messaging, get the media, and get the appointments.
Yep. And right now, what are you seeing too? A lot of you see your Florida realtors or Inman news articles that come across. There's more home sellers delisting, pulling their homes off the market than ever before. That's an opportunity for the sellers that want to jump ahead of everybody right now. If you have more of the competition coming off of the market and you have more buyers that are starting to come back in the market and trickling back in because rates are trickling down, and there's a lot of buyers that think, well, I'm going to beat the herd, you need to be on the market now. You need that exposure now to the buyers that are coming in. And like Jeff said, you might need to give a little bit of a concession, but it's really, it's the same. You either sell for a little less maybe or a little more now, but when you go to buy, you're going to be able to buy for a little less. Or if you sell for a little more, when you go buy, what's going to happen then? You're going to buy for a little bit more. So really it's about the trade. Which one is going to give us the most exposure? Which one is going to give us the best experience? Right now, the best experience might be as people are pulling their homes off the market and buyers are already starting to come back in. It might be good to get your house out in front of those buyers now. And which homes are getting more of the views? The homes that have been on the market 120 days, 150 days, or the ones that are just coming on the market? It's your opportunity. Get on the market now, get the exposure now, get out there in front of more buyers right now. And the newer homes, everybody's already seen those 120-day-old homes. They haven't seen yours yet. When yours comes on, we'll have a greater exposure. So Miss India, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. What do you got for us this morning?
All right. So we just want to do a couple of reminders this morning. As of last week, we were trending for 49 for the month. As of this morning, we are at 40. We took in 9 new contracts yesterday. That is awesome. Just want to do a couple of reminders to the agents. When you're sending over your contracts, if you wouldn't mind either sending over your completed contract deal sheet that shows your commissions and stuff, that is very helpful for us, along with your sellers' phone numbers and email addresses so we can get our introductions out right away. And make sure you're sending your affiliated business arrangement disclosure with those contracts so that there's no delay in opening your contract. We are still doing that contest. The agent with the most contracts at the end of the month will win a $50 gift card. So that's very exciting. And so as of this Friday, we do have 9 closings. So we are going to be pretty busy. And I just want to do a reminder that we are going into a 3-day weekend. So what does that mean for your clients, your buyers? Sometimes it can be issues. Because if we are not closed and dispersed by 4 o'clock, your client may not see their wires until come Tuesday. So that just want to put that reminder out there.
Good. Awesome. Thank you very much for that reminder. So yes, we have a holiday weekend coming up. We have an end of month, end of week, holiday weekend coming up at the end of this week right now, and 9 closings in one day. And I'm sure there might be some more people trying to move closings up from September into August to try to get that done. So just be aware, make sure you communicate with title and let them know. I always make sure your buyer knows, buyers and sellers, if you are not closed, if you do not have wire, if you do not have a closing scheduled before 1 o'clock, your chances of getting it done and signed and getting keys just start to go down after that. So set the right expectation. If you do not have a closing and it is not signed and done by 1 o'clock, the chances start to go down because no one knows what issues might come up between after 1 o'clock whenever they're trying to send documents off to a lender, get wires sent from a lender. Even if we close, your seller, they might need those funds for their closing they're going to. That's not going out. They're not getting that. They're not closing on Friday if it's after 4 o'clock. Your buyers, same thing. You may not get keys. If you don't have funds that are wired and in and done before the end of the day, technically they don't need to get keys. A closing occurs when the title company has accounted for all signatures and funds. If they don't have funds, closing has not occurred. I don't care who signed. You're signed and you are dry closed, they call it, but you do not have all signatures and all funds, and you do not have to disperse keys. So we just need to be aware of that. That can create some issues for buyers or sellers coming into a long weekend. Awesome. Anything else you need to add for us?
No, I'm all set. We're looking forward to a great week and a great end of the month.
Awesome. Thank you, India.
Thank you.
Jimmy, I think you got the next. Well, I got a couple events coming up. Every single one of you also has an email to attend the Aura Hotel and Residences event. So this is it's a hotel residence condo hotel in downtown Tampa. It is tomorrow. It's a happy hour. It's going to be, I believe, from 1 to 4. And it's an income generating opportunity. You have income generating properties that you can sell. It's another opportunity for those of you who are looking for a beach property. We got the Beach Maker. For those of you looking for something downtown in Tampa, you got Aura. You have lots of opportunities. Please RSVP for this event. This will be tomorrow. Tomorrow from 1 to 4 o'clock in downtown Tampa. You have an RSVP in your email. Reminder, your real estate license renewals are due by the end of September. For some of you, the other ones are end of March. So make sure that you do your continuing education. Make sure that you go to the DBPR and you renew your license and pay the fee. One of the big things people miss is we forget to pay our fee. We did our continuing ed, but we did not pay the fee. I have a realtor safety class that's coming up in September for 2 continuing education credits. That RSVP will go out. This is an in-person event. It's in the Apollo Beach area only. So if you wanted to spend some time with us, click on that, get 2 continuing education credits for that day. It's September 25th. And then a reminder that 121 is coming up in April of next year. It is at the Bellagio in Las Vegas. They have early bird registration that's out now. This was our just info about your renewals for your licensing. Jimmy, what you got for us?
I don't have anything too crazy. You can slide over to the next one. I'll make it short and sweet for you. But today's couple things for you on begginsuniversity.com. We'll be kind of calling out some of these tools every single week, along with our trainings and stuff like that. And basically, the one that I wanted to talk about today is the dynamic branded content. So if you're not sure what to post, what type of content, you kind of are just kind of in a rut, like not sure what you want to kind of push out there. If you actually go to the marketing hub and go to the dynamic branded content, there is over a year's worth of content available for you, and you can actually brand it directly to Century 21 Beggins or List with Beggins or BE3, along with all of your contact information by just clicking literally a couple buttons. And you can see that was actually supposed to be a funny one, and it kind of is, but anyways, gives you an idea of what that kind of looks like. So just one of the cool little tools that's available for you that can easily add your logo and stuff if you're not sure what to really kind of push out there. Then my last piece also is hopefully everybody's been getting on to the Beggins University to kind of take a look at what is available for you, the different tools, the training that's available, Moxie training that's available, your relocation, if you have someone you need to refer. All of that is built into Beggins University.
Cool.
And you can kind of skip the next one. That was just the form for the boom prep, just to kind of go over. So that's kind of good. And then the last thing, since we do have a few days left in August, I did talk about this last week, but your August real estate newsletter is available. I sent an email out last week, I believe. So you actually have PDFs and picture and JPEGs of this, so you can share it out on social if you want to do that, or if you want to print it out and knock on doors. It's also available in Moxie Engage as a brokerage e-blast. The email I sent last week walks you through actually how to pull that in and send it out. We have a direct message from Craig kind of at the beginning of this, along with some really great news that's happening in there. So if you want to show up correctly, you have a few days left to send this, so that way you're not sending out an August newsletter in September. So that would be a takeaway for me, is if you have not sent this out yet and you want to get something on a digital forefront on an email, and you've updated your database and you actually have people to send it to, in the next few days, send this out before the end of August. And then this was just an update on Preferred Client Club. So they're still in the process of kind of changing everything over. We should see beginning of September, you'll be able to access and get into that with some really cool offerings.
And this is the whole point. The whole thing is have some goals, hit those goals by the end of this year. You've got 4 months. Anything is possible in 4 months. Anything is possible. We've had people do $100,000 months. We've had people do $100,000 quarters. If you set the intention and set your mind to it, you can literally achieve anything by the end of this year. If you have one appointment every single week between now and the end of this year, you're looking at opportunities of, what was the numbers you put out? $120,000 by the end of the year, or $160,000 by the end of this year. And even if you don't close all of those, because it was 16 weeks, 18 weeks, take 2 weeks off, 16 weeks, $160,000. Even if you only close half of them, that's $80,000 by the end of this year. In 4 months, that's $20,000 a month. $20,000 in income a month is one hell of a living. But we just need to create the intention for it. Let us help you out. Log in, get into your Google form and fill that out. And we look forward to working with you towards that goal. You guys have a happy Tuesday. Go ahead and log off, join into your local meetings that you have, and we'll keep working towards a wonderful end of the year.